It's another beautiful day here in the Shire. And this time, Renee's making
Ozark Pudding from the Missouri Ozarks. Crackly tops, chewy edges, and spoon-soft middle. It looks a little bit like a cake, a little bit like a pie, and a little bit like a cookie. But it's none of those. It's a simple heritage bake that even sparked a small presidential controversy back in 1949. Stay tuned and I'll show you the secret that makes this topping shatter on contact. Okay, so the first thing we're doing today is we're putting the flour in the bowl. And then we're going to add some salt, some baking powder, and then we're going to whisk that together. Okay, so we have the flour mixture together. I have some pecans. I am actually going to chop these today. These are whole half pecan pieces, and I'm just going to go ahead and chop these up until they don't have to be perfectly evenly cut. We're just going to make sure we have them a little bit smaller than they are right now. So I'm going to put those in the bowl with the flour. We're going to peel a couple of apples. We want about a cup of apples here. And when I peel, I like to see if just for the fun of it, I like to see if I can peel without breaking the apple as I go along. And I just when I'm peeling, I just lay my knife flat and take that skin off just really close to the skin. And if you keep your knife flat all the way around, ta-da! This gives me great pleasure. Whoops. Okay. Whoops. This is the coolest knife on the planet. This is what I use. I have like 4 or 5 of these, and they are the best knives on the planet. They're made by Victorinox, and they cut anything. They're awesome, and I don't have any other paring knives. I know that's just probably people are going, ew, but these things never get dull. They're amazing. So there's that. All right. Now I have this handy dandy apple corer that I use. And I'm just going to core these apples. Get the middle out. That is the coolest thing on the planet. I'm going to grate these apples. Be very careful with your fingers here. The apple is the part of this recipe that adds all of the moisture to the cake. Okay, so that looks perfect. You're looking for about a cup and it squishes down, so we'll call that good. And we're going to put that in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stir this all up and get that all mixed up really well so that those pieces of apple and the pecans are mixed in well. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's pretty coated. We're just going to let that sit for a couple of minutes while we work with the eggs. Have you ever heard of Ozark pudding before today? If not, type first time and then tell us where you're watching this show from. I'd love to know how far reaching this pie goes because it's originally from Missouri. And so I'd love to hear from you. All right, 3 eggs. And we're going to put those right in this mixer. This is the most important part of this whole pudding. These eggs are going to get aerated and we're going to puff them right up, and then we're going to add some sugar to them, and the sugar and the egg in this pie are just going to magically rise and make this incredibly yummy, crispy topping. And this is the key part of this whole pudding. It's a pudding. So I'm turning these on to aerating or whipping, and we're going to let this go for probably 3.5 minutes. So I'm using my Breville mixer today, and it's really cool. It has a timer on the side, so I don't have to put a timer on, so I know I've been going almost 3.5 minutes. Make sure you put a timer on. You don't want to overdo this, but you can see, I'm going to stop this. And if you look at this spoon, you can see the bubbles in there. And that's what we want. We want so much air in there. And we want that to just be totally aerated for the next step. Okay, so while this is beating, we're going to add our sugar. And we're going to do this very slowly. And now I'm going to add the vanilla. Okay, I'm going to scrape the sides one time here. And what's happening while this is beating like this is that it's dissolving that sugar. The way this works is that sugar gets in once it's dissolved and really mixes with this. I guess it's like a meringue, but it's got the yellow parts in it. You're going to mix that until it's all dissolved. So this goes probably another couple of minutes, but you can already see how it's looking completely different, almost like it's melding together. Oh, it looks so good. All right. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so that looks really good to me. We did this for about 2.5 minutes. So that is looking, let's feel it. See, the sugar is just about dissolved in there. So that's done. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our mixture that we mixed up before we did this, and we're going to put that in with this egg mixture. Give this a stir. I'm not gonna stir this really fast. I'm just gonna kind of fold that all in. Remember, when you're folding, you go up and over, up and over. And you want that dispersed all around the entire cake. All right, that looks fabulous. All right, so now the next step here is we're going to put a little bit of butter. I'm using a 10-inch cast iron pan. If you would like to use a pie plate, you can. I believe you'd need a 10-inch deep dish to let this rise on the sides. Whatever pan you're using, butter it so it doesn't stick, and the butter helps that browning that goes on. You can use a cake pan. I mean, literally, you can use any pan as long as it's not glass. That is just not going to give you the browning that you want. Okay, so put this in here. Make sure you scrape your pan. You don't want to leave any of that deliciousness behind. Into the oven we go. The temperature is 350 degrees. We're going to go for 30 minutes, but we'll keep an eye on it. And let's put this in my oven over here. Oh, I forgot the vanilla.
Okay. Time is ticking. Vanilla's missing. Can Renee fix it without having to start over? Find out right after this. Round here, there's a house rule. If it bugs you, bake it again. And that's just Renee being Renee. If it isn't right, it isn't done. So while you were away, she ran the whole thing again. And this time, the vanilla is present and accounted for. Now, We're gonna pick up right where we left off.
Okay, so it's been about 40 minutes and we're gonna take this out of the oven. Boy, this is gorgeous. Look at this. It is crunchy. And the reason I know it's done is I stick it in there and it's okay to have some of the cake coming out of it. When it's not done, it's foamy and wet. This is not. That's exactly what you should see on the end of your tester. I was doing my research and I found some interesting information about this controversy that occurred. And during Truman's inauguration week in 1949, papers reprinted Bess's, his wife, Ozark Pudding. They botched it. They got the ingredients wrong. They got the measurements wrong. There was a huge uproar. Everyone thought it was Bess's fault. And this one writer wrote in, she called herself the disgusted housewife, and she said hers kept erupting out of the pan and told Bess to try the recipe first before putting her name on it. She was completely disgusted. The White House ended up mailing a standardized recipe to calm the chaos. Things never change. No, I can't say that. So this is cooled down enough so that I'm going to cut it. You can see it's still cracking as it's going along, but the best way to serve this is kind of warm with some whipped cream or ice cream. So I'm going to get some whipped cream so that we can serve this the way it's recommended.
Ozark Pudding on the menu. Here's your whipped cream.
All right, so this is best scooped, and we're going to take some right here. Oh, the crunch. There's the cookie part. It looks like a cookie there. Oh, yum. Look at the top. It's like, it just breaks. Oh, it's just gorgeous. You know the topping on a brownie? That's kind of what this is like. It's like that irresistible thing. Let's put some whipped cream on this. This is my homemade whipped cream. I have a video for that here. And we're going to put that right beside it. I don't want to put it on top because it'll mush all that crunchy stuff up. And let's give this a try. I need a fork. It's so weird. It's like a cake. It's all soft. It's got nuts in it. Let's give this a try in those crunchy pieces. The nuts in there and the apples done like that, it's moist and it is so delicious. I'm going to try a little piece with some whipped cream. Give that a shot. This topping makes this the most magical thing ever. Oh my gosh, with that whipped cream, it's so good. I hope you give this a try. It is absolutely delicious and easy. Thank you.
Ready for seconds? Don't put your spoon down yet. Tap this video and Renee will meet you there.